What's up, guys? This is Farouk from the African Fighters. Today we'll be looking at UAE Warriors 27 Africa. This is the second African card organized by the UAE Warriors. First of all, they put on the UAE Warriors 25 Africa, which is UAE Warriors 25, the 25th UAE Warriors event, African card 1. And now, a month later, they're putting on the UAE Warriors 27 African card 2. So this is an all-inclusive African fighters card. So all the fighters on this card are Africans or have African origin or have African heritage. I'll put it that way. I think that's the better word to use. So today we'll be looking at UAE Warriors 27 African card. I'm walking you through the whole card, fights on the card, and then I'm going to previewing my top 5 fights on that card. And I'll tell you the reason why they are my top 5 fights, and if I'm to include those fights in the card, to structure those fights in the card, those fights are going to be in my main card of the fight. But before we go into this, first of all, I want to give props to the UAE Warriors for putting on African card. You guys are doing exceptionally well. You guys deserve all praise when it comes to putting on fights, promoting combat sports. You guys are doing great in giving African fighters opportunity. And one thing that is fascinating is the UAE Warriors give fights put young fighters, upcoming fighter prospects with 1-0 record on their card, 2-0 record. So everybody, it's like everyone is invited. And in this particular card, UAE Warriors 27 Africa, we are going to see some fighters making their debut. This will be their first fight on the card. And UAE Warriors Africa 27 is taking place tomorrow in Abu Dhabi, Etihad Arena. So you don't want to miss this card. So before we go into this video properly, I'm going to give kind of a recap of UAE Warrior 25 Africa, the first Africa event, the fighters who are on that card and also going to fight on this card barely a month later. So guys, make sure to like this video, join me in the conversation in the comment section, tell us your opinion about this video. Stay on this video till the end to find out my top 5 fight I'm going to preview and why you should watch those fights. And also hit the subscribe button, subscribe, join the gang, join the African Fighters team, join the African Fighters team, support us, support the movement. We are currently on 5k subscribers. We want to get to 10k subscribers in the next 2 or 3 months. So you can do that for us. So let's jump straight into this video. So we're going to be looking at UAE Warrior 25 recap, some of the fight, not all the fights. I'm just going to go through the fighters that are coming back on this card. So UAE Warriors 25 Africa, that's the first Africa event, was held in February, I think February 25th, and tomorrow, March 25th, will be exactly a month after after the first African card, which is last month. So we're going to look at the fights. 4 fighters on that card are back on this card, and as you can see on the screen, UAE Warriors 27 Africa, this is the card. I'm going to point those fighters so you can see them. We have Jeris Die Gomez, the Cameroonian, the crazy Cameroonian. He fought on the last card, and he defeated EFC former EFC bantamweight champion. He defeated Sindili Manengala. He defeated Sindili Manengala via unanimous decision at UAE Warriors 25 on that card, and he's back a month later, and this time around he's fighting Faiz Gomez. The next person to point out is the Nigerian Rage Ndidi Alono. Ndidi Alono is considered one of the best fighters out of Nigeria, if not the best fighter. Ndidi Alono fought Islam Abdul Basit, the Egyptian, at UAE Warriors 25th Africa last month. And Ndidi Alono came short. He lost that via KO ground and pound in the second round. But Ndidi Alono is back here this time around at UAE Warriors 27 Africa 2 to redeem himself, to get a victory, or to prove that he can do it. He's fighting the middleweight division. The third fighter we're looking at is an exciting fighter, In welterweight in Christopher Bajo, the Gambian. Christopher Bajo defeated Demezode Abba Abba Akbar. He defeated Abba via rear naked choke at UAE Warriors Africa 1, which is UAE Warriors 25. He defeated Abba via rear naked choke. He's also back on this card to fight again, and this time around he's taking on Sohail Tahiri. He's taking on Sohail Tahiri, and Sohail Tahiri is fighter out of France. We're going to find out his real origin, his heritage, shortly. So the last fighter I'm looking at is let's take a look at the last fighter. He is Afonso Vini Besala. Afonso Vini Besala defeated his Cameroonian. He was 1-0 before the first card last month, and he defeated Demba Sek, the Senegalese, via decision. Afonso Vini Besala is back again in the featherweight division. He's taking on Kenny Mokanuana. That is the name on this card. So these are the fighters, like I said, that are coming back on this card. So let me walk you through. This card is going to have 13 fights. I will just briefly walk you through some of the fights on this card quickly, and then we'll move straight into the preview. I'm just going to go through some of the fights, and so that to save time and make this preview short. Like I said to you, UAE Warriors are doing great. You can see some of the fighters. There's a funny fight here, which is a heavyweight fight between Khalid Jashel and Kelvin Munje. So Khalid Jashel and Kelvin Munje are the Nigerian and the Cameroonian fighter at the heavyweight division, making their debut. Both fighters are making their pro debut on this card. This is unbelievable. It's something that rarely happens in top promotion like this. Sometimes they accept fighters who already made their debut, who are already on, who already have some professional fights. But these guys are making their first, getting their first professional fight on UAE Warriors Africa, which is UAE Warriors 27, the second African card. So this is exciting. So without further ado, to save time, I'm just going to move straight into the fights I'm going to preview, and I'm going to preview 5 fights. And this fight is I'm going to talk about the first fight. I'm going to be looking at Ndidi Alonu taking on Zakir Badat. Ndidi Alonu is a Nigerian. I'll walk you through the fight properly as I go forward. This is the first fight I'm going to be looking at. The next fight I'll be previewing is the next fight I'm going to be previewing is going to be between the next fight I'm going to preview. I'm sorry guys, I'm trying to figure out the next fight. It's going to be between Helder Fernandez and Sylvester Chifungbo. That is the next fight I'm going to preview. And the third fight is going to be between Tabani Indebela taking on Luke Galecka. The fourth fight I'm going to preview is going to be between Jeris D. Gomez and Faiz Jacob. And the fifth fight is going to be between Badruddin Deani versus Wasim Hamami for the UAE Warriors welterweight championship. This is the main event. So I'm going to preview this 5 fights. So starting with the first one, Alonu versus Zakir Badat. Let's take a look at this fight. Ndidi Alonu, the Rage. Ndidi Alonu is 10-3-1. He's currently on a 1-fight losing streak. Like I mentioned earlier, he fought in February at the UAE Warriors Africa 25, the first African card in Abu Dhabi in UAE Warriors. He lost to Islam Abu Basit via ground and pound in round 2. I mentioned that. Ndidi Alonu, before that defeat, he was on a 4-fight winning streak. He won the African knockout competition in Nigeria, the first professional MMA reality TV show in Nigeria organized by the African Knockout Show. So he won that, and he has fought in different organization. He had a very vast amateur background. He fought at Five Star FC, and then he fought at EFC, fought at Warrior Sport Championship West Africa, and then fought at the AKO, and then lost at UAE Warriors, and now he's coming back to fight Zakir Badat. Like I said, Ndidi Alonu was the champion. He won the African knockout competition. He's taking on Zakir Badat. So who is Zakir Badat? Zakir Badat is from South Africa. He's South African. He's 3-1 in his pro MMA career. Currently on a one fight losing streak as well. He last fought in October at UAE Warriors event, and he was also on the 3-fight winning streak before losing to Jonathan Wentz at UAE Warriors 24 last year. So he's taking on Ndidi Alonu. So Ndidi Alonu, like I mentioned earlier, 10 wins, 3 defeats, 1 no contest, 3 defeats and 1 draw. Sorry, 10 wins, 3 defeats and 1 draw. Taking on Zakir Badat, 3 wins and 1 defeat. The Nigerian is 35 years old. Age of Zakir Badat is not known. These guys are fighting in the 185-pound division, the middleweight division. So not so much information about these guys. But one thing to note, let me go back and explain this properly. Rage Ndidi Alonu is a striker. He's a kickboxer. 5 wins by KO, TKO, 1 win by submission, and 3 wins by decision. Now let's take a look at Zakir Badat stats properly. Zakir Badat stats. Trying to pull that up. Zakir Badat. Zakir Badat has 3 wins. I think 3 wins by 2 wins by KO, TKO, and 1 win by submission. He has no decision win. 2 win by KO, TKO, 1 win by submission. So Zakir Badat will be facing Ndidi Alonu. So how will this fight plays out? Let me give you my prediction quickly. Ndidi Alonu is a vast MMA fighter, has the experience, has good grappling as well. He's a kickboxer. He has the fighting experience, 10 victories, 3 losses, and 1 draw. He lost his last fight to Islam Abdul Basit, and he's going to be coming back this time around quickly just after a month. Shows how hungry he is, shows how he wants to get back the W. And Zakir Badat also a very, very good fighter as well. Has a good grappling, has also a very good jiu-jitsu. He's 3-1. Like I said, he has powerful hands, 2 win by KO, TKO, 1 win by submission. He can take the fight to the ground and dominate on the ground. Ndidi Alonu can keep the fight standing and put on a striking clinic. So how do I see this fight playing? I see Ndidi Alonu with advantage, both coming off a defeat. Ndidi Alonu is looking forward to bouncing back, taking this W, and moving on from there. Zakir Badat also looking for the victory, but I think if this fight stands on the ground and they keep this fight standing, Ndidi Alonu has advantage. He's going to come out, strike, and also put Badat away and win by KO, TKO. If the fight goes to decision, I see Ndidi Alonu also winning by decision. The clearer path to victory for Badat in this fight is to win by submission. He is the better grappler, has advantage on the grappling side. But Ndidi Alonu is vast, like I say, very, very experienced. He has the ability to mix the skills up together. So he's very, very good when it comes to that area. So if he's patient and he's relaxed, I think Ndidi Alonu can get this covered. He can win this fight easily. So my prediction is going to be Ndidi Alonu via KO, TKO within the first 2 rounds or via decision if he's patient and fight a tactical fight. So moving on to the next fight. The next fight we're going to be looking at Helder Fernandez. Helder Fernandez versus Chifungbo. Sylvester Chifungbo. Helder Fernandez versus Sylvester Chifungbo. So Sylvester Chifungbo Helder Fernandez is from Cape Verde, fighter out of France. He's currently on a one fight winning streak, has a record of 7-6. So not a very decent record. Fighter out of France. Helder Fernandez is on a one fight winning streak. You can see his record. He lost, and win. He has fought at the Gladiator Fighting Arena, FFA Challenge. So he has fought in some a low tier promotion. And let's take a look at his stats properly. He has 3 wins by KO, 3 wins by submission, and 1 win by decision. So this shows you Helder Fernandez has the ability to put all the skills together: the grappling, the striking, and getting the victory to his advantage. He's taking on the former EFC bantamweight champion in Sylvester Chifungbo, and this fight is going to be, I think this fight is going to be a bantamweight fight. Yeah, I believe it's a bantamweight fight. Chifungbo also similar record, but the better stats, better record. He's known as the Gladiator. He's 7-4, 7 victory, 4 losses. He's currently on a 1-fight losing streak. He lost in October at UAE Warriors in Abu Dhabi last year. He's 30 years old, fighting out of Gweru, Zimbabwe. So Sylvester Chifungbo defeated Faiz Jacob. Faiz Jacob also on this card at EFC 85 to win the EFC bantamweight title. He then moved on to fight Vinicius de Oliveira, who is the current UAE Warriors bantamweight champion. He lost that fight via rear naked choke in the first round, and this time around he's coming back at UAE Warriors 27 Africa to fight Helder Fernandez. So let's take a look at this fight. Let's see Chifungbo stats quickly. Chifungbo has 2 wins by KO, 1 win by submission, and 4 wins by decision. So he will be taking on Helder Fernandez. So let's see, and let me give you guys my prediction on this fight. So Helder Fernandez, like I said, 3 KO, 3 submission, 1 decision, and 7 wins, 6 losses. Sylvester Chifungbo has also a very good record, like I mentioned. He has 2 KO, 2 KO, TKO, 1 submission, and 4 decision. Also good at mixing it up. He has a karate background and also has powerful hands and also has good jiu-jitsu. So how do I see this fight going? Like I said, both of them have similar experience. You can see Helder Fernandez has 13 fights altogether, 7 wins, 6 losses. So he has more experience when compared to Sylvester Chifungbo, who has 11 fights in total. Not so much different, but I think Sylvester Chifungbo has fought better opponents. He has fought in title fights, 2 title fights. He won 1, becoming the EFC bantamweight champion. He lost to Vinicius Oliveira for the UAE Warriors bantamweight championship. So he knows what it feels like to be in the title fight. He knows what it feels like to be in the big stage. He has the experience on his edge, and I think Sylvester has advantage when it comes to this fight. He should be coming into this fight and putting Helder Fernandez away. So I think Chifungbo winning this fight via KO within the first 2 rounds, or winning this fight via decision. But the clear path to victory for Helder Fernandez will be by submission. Has a good submission, 3 wins by submission. So if Chifungbo got caught again and he's taken to the ground, he may get submitted just like what happened against Oliveira. So Helder Fernandez can win this fight via submission. But my pick is still going to be Chifungbo, Sylvester Chifungbo, to win via KO or via decision. So moving on to the next fight on this card, out of our top 5 fights we're looking at, the next fight is going to be in the heavyweight division. We'll be looking at Tabani Indebela. Tabani Indebela will be taking on Luke Galecka. So Luke Galecka is fighting out of Switzerland. Luke Galecka, I think he is from Congo DRC. Luke Galecka, as you can see, let's take a look at his record. Luke Galecka is 5-3, fighting out of Switzerland from Congo DRC. He's currently on a one-fight losing streak. He's 32 years old. He last fought in 2018, so that's a long time ago. So he's coming back after 4 years layoff after fighting. When he last fought 4 years ago, I don't know if I'm making any sense with that statement. He last fought 4 years ago and returning for the first time. And let's take a look at his record. He's coming off a defeat. He's on a one-fight losing streak. He has fought at IFO3 Europe, fought at UMC, and also fought at SHC in Europe. So he has fought mainly in Europe and Switzerland regional MMA promotions. So let's take a look at his stats. He has 5 wins by KOTQ. So all his wins are by finish, KOTQ, and he is 5-3. Luke Galecka. So he's taking on Tabani Indebella. So Tabani Indebella is a very funny character. Tabani Indebella is 5-1, nicknamed the Doctor. Tabani Indebella, fun fact, in real life is a medical doctor in South Africa. This man is a very, very inspirational. It's an inspiration to people of South Africa. He was saving lives during the pandemic. So let's cut the story short. Indebella was the former EFC heavyweight champion, even though he wasn't officially crowned with the title. He never got the belt. Another controversial topic for another day. But he won the EFC heavyweight champion when he defeated Matunga Jikasa. Indebella is currently on a 5-fight winning streak. He lost his fight. He lost his first fight. I think he lost his first fight via during his debut. That he lost his debut. Indebella lost on his debut, and afterwards he's on a 5-fight winning streak. He has not tested defeat after then. He is taking on Luke Galecka. Let's take a look at Tabani Indebella's stats. Tabani Indebella's stats is not pulling up, but let's take a look at his victories. So he has 2 wins by KO/TKO, 2 wins by decision, and 1 win by submission via guillotine choke. So Tabani Indebella also has powerful hands, a very good knockout artist, but know how to mix it up. Very athletic. He looks like a light heavyweight. So Tabani Indebella taking on Luke Galecka. So part to victory for this one. Tabani Indebella, the former EFC heavyweight champion. I think he knows how to fight on the bigger stage. He has fought for a heavyweight title. He won the heavyweight title at EFC in EFC, which is Extreme Fighting Championship in South Africa. So he has 6 fights in totals, winning 5 fights and losing 1. Taking on seemed to be the more experienced fighter in Luke Galecka, who has 8 fights in total, 5 victory, 3 losses. Luke Galecka is a knockout artist. 5 of his victories are by KO/TKO. Tabani Indebella has 2 wins by KO/TKO, has 2 wins by decision, and also has 1 win by submission. And he has some very, very good leg kick. He can finish you with leg kick. That's Indebella. That's what he did against Matunga Chikasa. He was working the legs, kicking the legs, and Matunga Chikasa could not move. And then Tabani Indebella went in and finished off the fight. So he may be bringing in that strategy against Luke Galecka this time around. Never can tell. But my pick for this fight, I'm going to go Indebella winning this fight via KO/TKO or via decision. But the late path to victory for Luke Galecka is via knockout. And from what I can see, he goes in there to finish. Once he cannot get a finish, then that's all. There's nothing else to do. So I'm going to pick Indebella winning this fight via KO/TKO and via decision. And if he can get a submission, he goes for a submission also. He can finish you via submission. So that's my pick for this fight. Moving on to the 4th fight of my pick out of the 5. After the 5 fights, the next fight is going to be between Jerus Diaz Gomez. This fight can be a main event, but is this the co-main event? but it cannot be the main event because we have a title fight for the main event. But it's, for me, it feels like a bigger fight than the main event. But let's take a look at this fight. Jerus Gomez taking on Faiz Jacob. So let's take a look at this fight. Jerus Gomez, the crazy Cameroonian versus Faiz Jacob, the troublemaker. So as you can see, guys, this fight is going to be an epic one. Let's take a look at Jerus Gomez record. So Jerus Gomez, he is 8-4 with one no contest. He last fought in February at UAE Warriors Africa 25, and he's on a one fight winning streak. So who did he defeat? He defeated Sindela Manengela, who is the former EFC bantamweight champion. He defeated him via decision a month ago. Before that, he was coming on a two-fight losing streak, and he has fought most of his fights at the UAE Warriors. Most of his fights at UAE Warriors. He fought at Phoenix Fighting Championship. He also fought at Hard Knock Fight Night. So, but majority of his fight, I think about 7 or so fights, has been in the UAE Warriors. So he's a veteran of the game. He's the fan favorite. The UAE Warriors fans love him. People of Abu Dhabi, of the United Arab Emirates, love Jerus DA. He's a fan favorite. And let's take a look at his stats properly. Jerus DA has 3 wins by KO TKO, 1 win by submission, and 4 wins by decision. He's going to be taking on the former EFC bantamweight title contender in Faiz Jacob. So who is Faiz Jacob? Faiz Jacob, the troublemaker, is 7-4. Has a very funny character. He's also a trash talker. Knows how to sell a fight. Knows how to convince the audience and all that. It's a very fun fighter to look out for. He's 7-4. Currently on a 2-fight winning streak. He last fought in November of last year at EFC Africa. That's Extreme Fighting Championship Africa. He lost 2 fights, and there were big fights in the title fight. He lost to Sylvester Chifungbo at AFC 85, where he lost the bantamweight title. He also lost the title recently to Sindela Manengela, also via split decision at EFC 90. And he's now taking on Jerus Gomez. So let's take a look at Faiz Jacob record, who is on 7-4. Faiz Jacob has 5 wins by KO TKO, 1 win by submission, 1 win by decision. Has the powerful hands as well. He's a knockout artist, taking on Jerus Gomez. So let me give you my prediction for this fight. And like I said, Jerus Gomez also has very good hands, very powerful hands as well. He has 3 KO, and he can also come out and bang and strike. He always puts pressure on his opponent, push them to the fence, and then try to work the body, try to finish them there. Faiz Jacob will be coming out knowing that he has a knockout power to his advantage, trying to put Jerus Gomez away. So the clear path to victory for Faiz Gomez. So you can see Faiz Gomez has the higher reach, don't know of the leg reach as well. He's okay. Has advantage in the height. Is 1 inch taller, whereas we cannot tell about the height. But Jerus Gomez is on a 1-fight winning streak. He's coming on with the confidence, knowing that he won his last fight, knowing that he's the home favorite, knowing that he has the fans behind him. He's clearly the favorite in this fight on paper. Faiz Gomez will be looking forward to bouncing back from his 2 disappointing defeats, losing 2 title fights. He'll be coming out to put on a show, to make a big statement on the global stage. So this is a tricky one to call. So it's going to be a very, very tough fight, but I see Jerus Gomez with advantage. He is used to the UAE Warriors octagon or the UAE Warriors cage. He is, like I say, has the fans behind him. A very tactical fighter, has the experience to his advantage. 8 fights, 4 losses, 12 fights in totals, as compared to 11 fights by Faiz Jacob. So the crazy Cameroonian will be coming out to put on a show. And I see this fight being a very, very close fight. The path to victory for Faiz Gomez here will be to knock out Jerus Gomez, which is possible within the first 2 rounds. If he doesn't get that, Jerus Gomez will win by decision on point. And Jerus Gomez can also win this fight via KO TKO or via submission. He has the skills all rounder. He can win this fight in any way. But the best part for victory for Jayce Gomez would be um, via submission or via decision. But I'm going to go with um, Jayce Gomez here, guys. Faiz Jacob is coming off 2 fight losing streak. I know he will want to get his W. It's a guy I like so much. I like his character. I think he's a fun fighter, but I'm going to stick to Jayce Gomez. So moving on to the next fight, I'm going to go into the main event. The main event here is between, that is the final pick, the fifth pick. This is the main event. These are my top 5 fights, and it's going to be between Badreddin Diani versus Wissam Hamami. Badreddin Diani is the current UAE Warriors welterweight champion, and he's going to be taking on the undefeated Wissam Hamami. Let's take a look at this fight in the main event. Badreddin Diani versus Wissam Hamami. Badreddin Diani, he's 4-1, currently on a 2 fight winning streak. Wissam Hamami is 6-0, fighting out of Italy, the Tunisian, taking on the Moroccan. Badreddin is fighting out of France. So let's take a look at their record properly. So as you can see, Badreddin is the UAE Warriors champion. He's 4-1 from Morocco. Currently a 2 fight winning streak. He last fought in September 2021 at UAE Warriors. And he defeated Yusuf Belgario, defeated Sofian, and also defeated Abdullah. These are some names. And he has 3 fights at the UAE Warriors. So he has been fighting in the UAE Warriors for a while. So he understands the cage, he understands the environment, understands the audience. So advantage is going to be on the side, more like the home fighter. And he has a very fantastic record. He has 1 win by KO TKO. He has 1 win by submission and 3 wins by 1 win by KO TKO, 1 win by submission, and 2 wins by decision. So 1 win KO TKO, 1 win submission, 2 wins by decision. That is Badreddin Diani. He's taking on Wissam Hamami. Wissam Hamami, the undefeated fighter, 6-0 record, fighting out of Italy, the Tunisian. He last fought at the UAE Warriors also 21 in September. He's on a 6-fight winning streak, undefeated. Fought at the Stam FC. He's the Stam FC. He was before the Stam FC. Welterweight champion. This fight is going to be in the welterweight division. He won a Slam FC welterweight champion. It's a promotion in Italy. He also fought at the Golden Cage as well. And he has 1 fight at the UAE Warriors. So let's take a look at his record. He has 4 wins by KO TKO, 1 win by submission, 1 win by decision. So clearly, Wissam Hamami is the clear favorite in this fight. Coming into this fight, a confident fighter, knowing that he's undefeated, knowing that he has the knockout power to his advantage, and he can put Badreddin away. Badreddin also a good fighter with 1 KO TKO, 1 submission, and 2 decision. And Hamami is going to be the guy with advantage, the striking advantage, and the taller guy here also in this fight, also the guy with the most experience. He has 46 fights and he has been able to win all 6 fights via KO TKO. Been able to win 4 of his 6 fights via KO TKO. So, but Badreddin also is a defending champion. He doesn't want to lose the belt. He wants to retain his welterweight crown, the UAE Warriors welterweight title. So he's going to be giving all he can and to make sure the belt stays with him. So this fight is going to be a fun fight, going to be a tough fight. But I see Badreddin winning this fight via decision. If he can push through, he can pull this fight and win via decision. But Wissam Hamami can win this fight via KO TKO within the first 2 rounds. So Wissam Hamami is the clear favorite here, and I'm going to go with Wissam Hamami. I think Wissam Hamami is going to be the new UAE Warriors welterweight champion. He's going to win this fight via KO TKO or via decision on points. So guys, here you have it, the UAE Warriors Africa 27 card. I was unable to go through the whole fight. As you can see, I already spent 35 minutes in doing this. This is a lot, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, and click on the notification. Click on the subscribe button, turn on notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I post a video. Hope you enjoyed this video. We are out, the African fighters.